After the previous tutorials, you should be becoming more confident with the RStudio layout and understanding the basic syntax. There's just one small thing left to complete the basics, and that's how to work with your own data in RStudio. That's right, in this tutorial we're looking at data formatting, importing, and exporting. Welcome to the Skullywag Lab. I'm Dr. Rex. In this set of tutorials, I'm presenting a bare-bones introduction to the basic fundamentals of R coding. Okay, I get it. It's all fun and games playing around with these practice datasets, Rex, but I got my own data to work with, if you know what I mean. I want to know how to import this data and work with it. The problem is, maybe R hasn't been liking the data you've been trying to import, and maybe you've been scratching your head over reasons why that is. So we're just going to spend a few minutes looking at how this part of the process goes. Let's do this. Now here's an example of a data format that tends to work well for collecting in the field or in the lab. You can see it uses a minimum number of cells to have each data point be associated with as many variables as possible. 10 cells to explain skull length across species and sexes. That's pretty efficient, but this just doesn't work for importing into R. And if you've followed the previous tutorials from this course, you'll already know a few reasons why. Well, for starters, the data from a single variable is split into two columns. But each individual variable needs to be a vector, or a single line of code, for R to recognize them as part of the same thing. Secondly, you'll notice the spaces in some of the headings, for example between skull and length. These won't be recognized as a single element of code, so we need to reformat this data to be more R-friendly. This is the same data in a format that R can understand. We have all the observations in a single vector, no spaces within any cells. I also prefer not to use capital letters because R is case sensitive and I would have to capitalize the variable names in the code every time I wanted to use them. So this looks good to go. Now for importing this kind of 2D data in a table format into R, it's easiest to export the data as either a text file or a CSV file. So let's do both. Over in RStudio, we can import the text file data using the read table function. So we type the name of our new object, followed by read table, and within the function parentheses, the name of the data file. But uh-oh, something isn't right. It looks like R can't find the file, and that's because we need to assign our directory to the folder where we have our data stored. As per tutorial 0, I recommend beginners keep their data files in the same folder as their R scripts. Then you can simply set the working directory to the source file location. Easy peasy. Let's try that again. Uh-oh, another problem. R still doesn't recognize the file. That's because the name of the file needs to include the file type. Ah, it worked. Phew! Or did it? We have 10 data points, but the details in the environment state there's 11. What's going on here? Let's take a closer look. Aha! So the variable names are imported as the first data point. We can also see this by typing the object name and viewing the data in the console. Yep, sure enough, our variable names are listed as the first observation. We can fix this by using the header argument in the read table function. Typing header equals true into the function will register the first cells as the variable names. All done. We now have 10 observations across 3 variables. The good news is it's the exact same procedure for CSV files, but we use the read CSV function instead. Okay, let's say you created a data set you wanted to export. Again, it's easiest in R to export either a text file or CSV file. For text, we use the write table function with the name of your data set followed by what you want to name it. Don't forget the file type as well. And the process is the same for the CSV files, except we use the write CSV function. Both of those should now be saved into the working directory. Now to summarize this, to format your data, the best practice is to make sure there's only one column per variable. There are no spaces in any names or values. Life is just easier in R without capitals if you can help it. And these are the 2 functions that are easiest to import data with. And that's a wrap. Alright, give yourself a pat on the back because you are nearly through this set of tutorials. The next tutorial is a concluding tutorial that covers the basics of troubleshooting. We'll be looking at the problems that constitute about 95% of the errors that beginners come across. If you find this content helpful at all, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one.